Throwdown Nation, we are not live. I'm here with my friend and broadcast partner for today, Mr. Trey Matthews, pro wrestler extraordinaire and promoter for Utah-based Dive Pro Wrestling. As we all know, this is a big weekend in the business. There is lots and lots of wrestling afoot in different parts of the country. And the plan for today is to take a run down the card for tomorrow afternoon's NXT Great American Bash and give our thoughts and predictions. So you ready to get started, Trey?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Like you said, a massive weekend as far as wrestling goes. So can't wait to talk some shop and see how our opinions differ.
Absolutely. Okay, so as far as I know, they have not actually announced the match order for the Great American Bash. So I just kind of put this together in the order that seemed logical to me. It may or may not be exact, but I think it'll probably be fairly close. One thing I will say, I love the fact that, especially on the NXT side of it, they have kept some of the event names from the old WCW stuff. And, being a guy from the South, I kind of grew up on WCW and having things like the Great American Bash, it's kind of a throwback for me. So I kind of dig that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And it's obviously a lot easier to keep with like brand recognition and stuff like that, rather than completely come up with new names for your show. Like the Great American Bash automatically grabs people's attention.
Absolutely. So anyway, the show is going to be at 3 p.m. Tomorrow afternoon. They're kind of doing some counter programming of AEW's All In show, but that's a matter for a whole other conversation. But anyway, so the first match, we've got this new guy. I believe he's a product from the LFG show, Jasper Troy, versus Javon Evans. And to me, it looks like really a power versus finesse type of match. I think I've got Javon on this, but I could be persuaded otherwise. How it comes out to me will tell us exactly how high they are on Jasper Troy. I mean, if they're really strapping a rocket to this guy, they might put him over on Javon, but I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on it. Like, I think it will completely depend on what direction they want to go with the NXT title scene. Both these guys have faced off with Oba, Femi, and lost. But Javon hasn't really got a singles match against Oba yet, so I'd also go with Javon on this. I think it's a good chance to prove that Javon can beat a big guy.
Right. And yeah, I mean, if he can get a big guy, a big powerful guy like this sort of under his belt, then yeah, what you were saying is very very true. It would give him more credibility in another match with Oba.
Yeah.
So moving on to the next match, we've got Sol Ruca versus Izzy Dame for the Women's North American Championship. I'll be honest, I'm not hugely familiar. I watch my share of NXT, but I'm not hugely familiar with either of these women. I've seen them wrestle, but I mean, I haven't really gotten a real strong vibe for either one. My prediction, I'm going to say Sol retains just to kind of further solidify herself as the mid-card champion in the women's division. But I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I could honestly see this one going either way. Izzy's definitely been getting a push lately, and she's with Sean Spears' group, the Colling. So I think it can go
Right.
either way. It really depends how far they want to take the Sol Ruca push, because right now she has that belt. She has the WWE Speed Women's Championship as well. I'm a big fan of Sol Ruca. She's super athletic, super crazy in the ring. I'm a big fan. Honestly, though, I think it's Sol's. I think Sol retains here. I don't see really the reasoning to take it off of her yet. And I think just let her keep having a great reign, and she can kind of help carry the other girls who aren't as experienced yet.
Gotcha. So now we've got one that's kind of interesting for a lot of reasons. Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe, the recently acquired, formerly Mariah May from AEW, versus Fatal Influence, JC Jane and Fallon Henley, with Jasmine Nix in the mix. What's your prediction? I'll let you go first on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, for me, this one's kind of a no-brainer. I don't see Blake Monroe losing her debut match. So I'd say Blake and Jordan go over here, probably pinning Fallon because they're not going to want to pin JC. Probably Blake pinning Fallon. But if you want to really get interesting with it, you could have them lose and then Blake Monroe turn on Jordan Grace, which will probably set up when Grace takes that belt off JC. Would be
Right.
my kind of like rough prediction. But if I have to pick one, I'm going with Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe.
Right. I actually have it the other way. I'm thinking Fatal Influence is going to win here because, in my opinion, I think Jordan Grace and Blake Monroe are going to end up not being able to get on the same page just due to tensions that they're both kind of focused on the belt. And I think it'll set up, it'll continue to lay groundwork for the inevitable feud between Blake Monroe and Jordan Grace down the road.
Yeah, that could make a lot of sense too, for sure. I hate that they changed her name to Blake Monroe.
I know. I know.
I hate when they change, like when you're bringing in somebody like that has that kind of name value. Like she was so good in AEW, so I just
Right.
don't understand changing her name and like kind of what they're doing with her right now. I'm not the biggest fan of personally, but only time will tell. She's still
Right.
super new, and the name
Right.
will grow. The name will grow on people. It's
Right.
just not my favorite.
No. And this next one, same kind of thing. I don't know why they couldn't have left him as Ricky Starks. Ricky Saints sounds ridiculous in my opinion. I mean, it's
I agree with you. Like I know the name probably has like some sort of sentimental value, but again, it's just somebody that had a name coming from AEW, and it's so weird who they will and won't let keep their names. Like Jordan Grace kept hers, and Ethan Page kept his,
yeah.
but Ricky Starks and Mariah May can't keep theirs. It's just so weird.
Yeah. This is a match I'm actually really looking forward to. I'm interested to see the chemistry between these two guys. I've got a feeling this is going to be a fun match. It's Falls Count Anywhere. And my prediction at this point, I'm going to say that Ricky Saints is going to win, but it's going to be one of these things where I think Saints will win, but I also think tomorrow night we're going to see Ethan Page make his main roster debut and potentially align with Seth Rollins' group. I've just got a hunch.
That was kind of my exact thinking as well. It's the loser of this is going on to that. And I think Ethan's a much better fit than Ricky is.
I do too. I
Like
do too.
Ricky,
And
I feel like Ricky will look really small next to Seth and Bronson and Braun Breaker. And I feel
Yeah.
like Ethan's just a better smug heel. Like, he's just such a little shithead. So
Yeah.
I think he'd be much better.
And so I predict he's going to make his debut, interfering tomorrow night in the match between Rollins and LA Knight, which will provide an instant new feud for LA Knight.
Yeah, and that would be really good. And one that LA Knight can win too. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it'd be solid. This is my pick for match of the night as far as Great American Bash goes.
Yeah.
Like, I think this will be the best match out of anything on the
Oh
card.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely agree. I think these two guys really have the potential to put on a great match.
Yeah, they had a pretty decent one at Stand and Deliver in Vegas.
Yeah.
That was fun. But this one will
Yep.
be better, I think.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And then we've got Obafemi versus Yoshiki Inamura for the NXT Championship. To me, a no-brainer. Femi retains.
I think Oba's going to retain, but Inamura is so much fun and such
Yeah.
like a breath of fresh air to the NXT roster where a lot of the guys are trained with the in-house WWE style, and Inamura is just this big star or like this big guy from Japan. You know what I mean? So I feel like this match. They're going to beat the crap out of each other.
Yeah.
There's no doubt in my mind this is going to be super hard hitting. But I agree with you completely. Oba's going to win, and he should win. You know, let's just continue this dominant run for Oba
Yeah.
until they're ready. If I'm booking, I'm having him hold the belt till I'm ready for him to come up to main roster and start dominating there.
Right. Right.
Like, I kind of look at Obafemi as obviously not in ring. He's not as good as Gunther, but presence wise, he's just like, it's the same kind of aura and same kind of presence as Gunther has. And so they could just kind of copy paste that model.
You know, the one intriguing wrinkle to me about this match is, do we see Josh Briggs do anything during the match? Because they've kind of hinted at a little bit of possibly some tension there, and I'm just curious to see if he's going to be a factor in the match at all.
Yeah, I think he will be. I honestly think that leads to Inamura losing.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try to run with Briggs as a heel again, which is interesting. You know, it really hasn't seemed like it's clicked for him in
No.
NXT. Like, even when he was tagging with Brooks Jensen and they had Fallon Henley, like, that's kind of been the closest it's come to really clicking for him. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But definitely Oba retaining his belt.
Absolutely. But yeah, I'm definitely overall. I've got to say I'm intrigued for this show. You know, some matches are definitely more compelling than others, but I think overall they've put together a pretty solid card to try to counter program All In.
See, and I think it's interesting. Like, I kind of feel like this card's a little bit on the weaker side as far as the NXT shows have gone. Like, you don't really have like, all the matches are kind of iffy on predictability. Like, you don't have a big title change in mind. Like, Inamura is awesome, but he's not taking that belt off Oba. You know what I mean?
No.
I personally feel like they know, like, you got to go into this knowing that All In's going to smoke you. You know what I mean? Like, All In is AEW's Mania, you know?
Yeah.
So personally, I think they kind of held back a little bit on what they could have done for this card.
Yeah.
Like, there's no tag team title defenses on this. The women's title's not being defended because of Evolution. So it should be interesting.
Yeah. You know, the one factor though with the counter programming kind of becomes a question of economics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, is somebody going to pay $50 for a pay-per-view, or are they going to pay their $5 Peacock and get wrestling either way?
Yeah, I think it completely depends. This could be a whole discussion for another podcast, like you said. But
Yeah.
I think it completely depends on what style of wrestling that you like,
right,
and what brand that you're fully enveloped in. And I'm a big believer in you can like both things.
Oh, for sure.
You don't have to pick one to like. Like, I know me personally, I'm going to be watching All In. Like,
Mhm.
but that's the style of wrestling that I really enjoy watching.
Same
So
here. Same here. I mean,
that'll be the show I'm tuning into live, and I'll catch
yeah.
up with this later.
Yep. So now
On a level of like 1 through 10, what would you say your excitement is for NXT?
I would say maybe a 6.
Yeah, I think I come in around like a 5. I'm intrigued by some of the matches.
So now
I don't think it'll be a bad show at all, though.
no, no.